I've got a smorgasbord of steak cuts from rare breed Dexter beef, and I've flame grilled them, reverse seared on the Kamado Joe. Do you want to know how to make the world's best mushroom sauce and cook beef like this? Then watch the videos. Yum! Hi guys, I'm Richard from Burning Spears. Welcome to my channel. Today I've got a nice little cook today, very much looking forward to it. Today I'm going to cook some Denver beef steaks. Denver beef is a cow that originated from Ireland, and it is quite rare because of its small stature. It's about that big when grown, fully grown. It has an element of dwarfism. Let me just lubricate that tongue, guys. Sorry about that. I haven't had a beer yet. Dwarfism. There we go. See, always stay hydrated. So it's got an element of dwarfism in it, and it's also got a very nasty temperament. So people don't like having them around. It's probably like the Jack Russell of cows, so to speak. And because of the small stature of it, the steaks are small. They're like miniature steaks. So I've had them cut thick, and I'll zoom up and give you a run on there. But first, a shout out to the Donaghy brothers. Andrew Donaghy made my glad rags for this episode. Amazing artist, graphic designer. Been working at a t-shirt place during the summer. And then of course I have to include my video editor and social media extraordinaire, his brother Nick. Thank you guys for all that you do. You guys are amazing. But anyway, enough about you. Let's talk more about the Dexter. Right, so just some understanding on how small this cow is. So this is a rump steak. To Americans it's a sirloin steak. Now traditionally a rump steak from a normal cow would probably be in this sort of region of about this size. This is from the top, from the head of the rump, and that is the picanha cross section. So picanha cross section would generally be like that, nice and fat. So you can see how much smaller this cow is built. But really looking forward to this. 100% grass fed from a farm in Northumbria. I think I better have some more beer and maybe practice in front of the mirror a bit more. But that's that one. And then your sirloin steak, or as Americans call it, strip loin. You can see how small that strip loin is. Look, it's like a little baby strip loin, and just delicious. Look at this yellow fat. That's going to be gorgeous. So this is also sirloins are generally about that big. Now the T-bone, or I think as Americans call it, the Porterhouse. This is dry aged. All of this is in fact dry aged, and you can see how small it is. Again, your T-bone sizes, your bistecca alla Fiorentina from the Italian cows probably are about that big, and then normal ones about that big. So very cute and very tasty. I'm very honored to be having 3 steaks from this one cow. Like I said, it's not common. I've dry brined them overnight in the fridge with salt, and that's why they're all waxy. So all that moisture's off, which will mean they will caramelize up and get a nice Maillard reaction crust on them, which is what the fans want. So I want to be doing these with a mushroom sauce, the world's best mushroom sauce. I challenge any of you otherwise to say it's not, but you'd have to try it first. But I'm going to do on a separate vid. I'm going to do the mushroom sauce, and then I'm going to serve them together. I'll put a side salad on there just for a bit of color, also the greenery, you know, to impress the ladies, but otherwise it's going to be beef. Aren't I the lucky one? Okay, so the Kamado Joe is sitting at about 125. You see I've got my deflector plates in. I'm going to reverse sear these, meaning I'm going to cook them in direct. I'll pull them at 40 degrees internal, 40 degrees Celsius. I can pull them out at different times, that's not a problem. Okay, now that the meat has warmed up a little bit, I'm going to season, whereas I would normally season differently, but I wanted there to be a bit of, hopefully a bit more bite for the seasoning to stick to. Because I dry brined with salt, I'm not going to put as much salt as I normally do. It's very light, this. Freshly ground black pepper. Then what I'll do is I'll turn them about 20 minutes in and season them the same. Okay, so we've been 20 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip, and as you can see they're all very relaxed. And I'm going to temp them up. So I want to pull them at 40 to do what I want to do with them, which is eat them pretty rare. So you can see we're at 48 degrees Celsius there, so I've overshot that one, but the thinner ones still have a touch to go. Okay, so these have taken off quite a bit quicker than I thought, but 40 gives me a lot of give when it comes to the cook. So the next phase of the cook will just have to be a lot more accurate because I've overshot it a little bit. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the heat deflectors, the one side out. Then what I have is I've got one South African thornwood log in there to provide me with the smoke. And as you can see, I've got lots of flame. However, I want the temperature to come up, more controlled, to get those sort of high heats without there just being so much flame. So I'm going to want to be reverse searing really high up at 400 degrees Celsius or so, which is, I think it's 750 degrees Fahrenheit. So the Kamado Joe or Kamado style grilling is really good for this type of thing, as you can attain those high heats. Right, so a little tip from me, I've got 3 different steaks here, they all cook differently. Now the thicker one is going in first, and then I can move it onto the protected zone. That's the T-bone, then the rump, followed by the sirloin. Sirloin literally just needs a little caramelization. So that's the order you're going to see, then I can control the doneness. I'll leave it closed for 2 minutes, then I'm going to turn it over, do the same. Hasn't released yet, so I'm going to leave it. Alright, so they are done. Rest for about as long as you can. I'm probably going to push it at 5 minutes because I'm starving, it's late. I'm filming for the first time under my lights, so I hope the shine doesn't detract from the colours and everything like that that I can see. Really looking forward to carving it. So there might be a bit of juice on the board, but c'est la vie. I can't wait too much longer. Okay, and then our little sirloin or New York strip. Ready, I can see it's going to be great. Tender. Alrighty, so I'm going to take a little bit of a sample. I'm going to go for the rarer parts. Cook like this. There's lots for everyone. It's what I'd call garnish. Right, okay, so my combo end, the world's best mushroom sauce. Rare Dexter beef, 3 cuts, 3 steaks, reverse seared, flame grilled, only the best way, paired with a nice Rioja Reserva. Now, a little bit of a advertising piece. This beautiful meat came from Paul Simmons, Simmons Family Butchery in the St John's Wood in the UK. Him and his team are amazing. They are constantly looking for the best quality they make, and they process the best quality stuff. Some stuff I've never seen that they produce. If you are in the UK and you're watching this, if you're anywhere near London, you need to check them out. Always looks after me with stuff like this, and can't wait to taste it. So delicious, I can't even chew it enough. My body forces me to swallow it so I can get the next bite in. 100% grass fed, great fat content, and the mushroom steak complements that perfectly. Dexter beef should not be a rare breed. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I certainly did. That was a good one for me, man. And it's just about to get a whole lot better. So thanks for watching. I hope you're still there. I hope you're still looking, and keep an eye out for the other video attached to this, whether it's the mushroom sauce or the Dexter beef. Thank you very much. That's it. Oh, I splashed on myself.